The biggest crypto run in history has already started, but most people are gonna completely miss it. Why? Because they don't have a plan. And I lost nearly $1 million in the last cycle because I didn't have a plan either. So learn from my mistakes. In this video, I'm gonna give you the bulletproof plan to walk away with insane profits in 2025. Now, take it from someone who has been through not one, but two, and this is my third cycle. These cycles have a pattern. In the first one, I was completely blindsided in the crash. In the second one in 2021, while I did still lose nearly $1 million from my high, I still walked away with huge profits. And in this cycle, I plan on doing way, way better. So if you like information from someone who's been through it, make sure you subscribe to the Idiot Genius channel and let's get right into it. The main thing you need to understand about crypto that's different than any other market, from stocks to commodities, real estate, is that it follows a 4-year cycle, and that's because of the Bitcoin halving. Every 4 years, the amount of Bitcoin that is produced decreases in half. And what that means is we have a tradable pattern that we've seen in 2013, 2017, 2021, where in each of those years, the market topped. And now we're coming into the next 4-year phase, which is 2025. So if history repeats itself, around the end of this year is when the market should top. Now, it's so important to understand this because the reason I got wrecked and so many people lose money in crypto is you think it's gonna go up forever. You think because something is doing well and there's hype and everyone's piling and there's gonna continue to be more people. But this 4-year cycle has not failed yet. And if you don't pay attention to it, you're gonna lose your profits. So what does this mean and what's the strategy here? Well, first of all, a lot of people are thinking that we're not even to the altcoin cycle yet, that we need to wait until Bitcoin goes higher and then ETH starts to pump and then the money is gonna rotate down into alt, which all of that is somewhat true. But the problem is if you wait until Bitcoin goes up to 150 and ETH hits $4,000, $5,000, you missed the best entries for the altcoins that you wanna be in to get those 10, 20, 50, even 100x gains. And this is the biggest mistake that people make in the market is they wait until they start to hear hype. But once you start to hear hype, already so many investors have gotten in before you and they're the ones getting the real gains while you're fighting to get 2, 3, maybe 5x's and time your exit perfectly to hold on to those gains. It's really fighting an uphill battle. So what you want to be doing now is looking for the dips like we've had over this past month, the opportunities, the projects that you believe in, that you think have a great narrative, or maybe they pumped last year and they've dipped, but you believe that they're going to come back, and you want to start investing into those projects now if you're not already holding them. Because what we're seeing is that institutions are starting to invest massive amounts of money into crypto, and not just BlackRock and banks. We're seeing governments, we're seeing entire countries stockpiling Bitcoin, Ethereum. We're seeing Trump come in and stockpiling Ethereum. There is something going on under the surface that we are not yet privy to that is going to come to light. And those of us that believe early on, and when the time comes and the floodgates open, the ones that got in early are the ones that are going to be rewarded. So there are 3 key mistakes that you have to make sure you avoid in these type of runs. The first one is selling your majors. And I get it. When Ethereum goes from 4K all the way down to 1600, it seems like it might keep going to 0. But you have to understand the mind games that are happening. And these massive institutions, they want to get in at lower prices. So not only do they sell off to lower the price, but they also create narratives, they create fear, there's war, there's tariffs, there's all these things that they can leverage to get people to sell their coins so the price goes down, 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 down. They come in, they buy tens of billions of dollars, the price starts to come back up, you start to feel a little more confident, you buy in higher and help them make more money. So if you're holding Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, AVAX, Injective, these major projects that have been around, that have been through it, and you believe in crypto and you believe in this bull run, do not sell these when you see those 20 to 30% pullbacks. You have to be able to stomach some pretty serious red days in this space, especially if you go to mid cap and low cap coins. But even in the majors, you need to have conviction, or this is not a game you should be playing. Now, the second thing is to not have an exit plan. You need an exit plan in crypto. The only coin that I'm holding, despite whatever happens, is Bitcoin. Everything else, including Ethereum, I am planning on riding to a certain amount, whether it's 2x, 5x, 10x, wherever my target is, and I'm planning on selling on the way up. Because the biggest mistake that I made in 2021 was thinking that Ethereum was gonna hit a certain price and I was gonna sell at that price, right? And for most people, the price was 10K. Oh, we're going to 10K Ethereum. So I thought, I'm gonna be smart. I'm gonna shoot for like 7,500, 8,000. That'll give me 5, 6x's. That's good enough. I don't wanna be greedy. The problem is Ethereum never got to that level and I wasn't selling on the way up. So all of the profit I made and the multiples, riding Ethereum from $900 up to nearly $5,000, which is a massive 5-6x I could have taken, but I didn't sell along the way up and I rode it all the way back down to $1,200. So rather than thinking I'm gonna sell when it gets to this price, make markers for yourself. If I do a 2x, I'm gonna take 10-20% profits, right? Once I get to a 3x, a 4x, I'm always taking out my initials. Usually by 3x, I've taken out my initials, so I know at the very least, if the market crashes, I'm still gonna break even, right? And once I hit that 4, 5 plus x, I'm making sure to take good, healthy profits, because even major coins, once they get up that much, there's a really good chance that they're gonna pull back. Now, the third mistake is not diversifying your portfolio and going all in on risky coins just because you heard hype about it, or your buddy said this one's going to the moon, or you saw a TikTok that went viral. Those are moments in time, and while they're amazing, just remember, the quicker something goes up, the quicker it comes down. You wanna make sure that the majority of your investment in crypto is in major coins, the top 10, the top 20. And then yeah, take 10, 20, 30%, whatever your risk tolerance is, and put it into some memes and gamble and have some fun, right? But you don't wanna get greedy, because when the market pulls back, it pulls back aggressively. And this is a good time to throw in that I'm not a financial advisor, and nothing you see here is financial advice, and I'm not being paid or promoted or doing anything on this video, just giving you my opinions and telling you how I'm running my strategy. Okay, so what is the strategy for this run? What am I buying into? What am I holding? How am I diversifying? As I said, the majority of my money, over 50%, is in the top 10 coins. I'm holding Bitcoin, ETH, Solana. I also, slightly lower on that list, love AVAX, I love Injective. These are my main coins that I'm holding to, that I'm DCAing, and as I make profits in the meme coins and the smaller coins, I'm putting a chunk of that back into these majors to keep building my stack and get even more multiples on it as we start to go up. And as you know from my other videos, I love AI tokens. I think there's gonna be a huge run for AI this cycle off of the back of NVIDIA and this GPU AI wave that everyone has loved. And so I'm taking a few calculated bets over there, knowing that those are big risks, but if it pays off, it's gonna hit big. And if you wanna see all the AI coins I'm into, that's in another video on my page. I won't get into that here. Now, the key with picking your coins here is not getting too watered down. So if you have $1 million to play with, sure, you can take a lot of 10K bets, but if you're only playing with, say, a few $1,000s, you really wanna try to keep your selection of coins as small as possible. 10, maybe 15 or 20 max, but you really don't wanna get to the point where you're buying and selling $200 of this or that coin, especially if it's on Ethereum. The trading fees can really eat up into your bankroll. And the most important part of this strategy is the timing. If you're not already bought into the market, you want to be keeping an eye on things. The worst thing you can do is have conviction, but be lazy and not take action. And then in a month or two, when Ethereum's hitting all-time highs, be like, I should have bought. I knew the market was gonna go up. Now, that's not to say that it won't go down again before it goes up. So should you dump your entire investment into crypto right now? Absolutely not. I personally DCA into everything I buy, which means dollar cost averaging. Now, this doesn't mean that if you want to invest $1,000, you have to put in 100 at a time. It could just mean 500 now, and you're going to wait and see what the market does the next couple weeks, and if it feels stable, 500 more. But rather than putting that whole 100 in one chunk, it's good to spread it out over time, because the market is predictable. And if you do see a big dip, that's when you really dump your capital in. So if you start to think of this less of this massive world of crypto and this endless time frame, and more of, you have about 6 months until the end of the year to make good on this cycle and make as much money as possible. What are the projects that you really believe in to really take advantage of this cycle? It becomes a much more manageable game. And if you guys are looking to make some trades, I recently partnered up with BTCC. They gave me an amazing deal where all my followers can get 10% cash back on the amount that you put into your account. So click the link below to start trading. There's no KYC, so no matter what country you're in, you can trade with BTCC, and they've honestly just been amazing for me. I have so many trades open on there right now. So really excited to be able to give you guys this special offer. And remember, now is the time to create your plan, start investing, put things in motion before you see crypto all over the news and your aunt and your mom and your cousin are talking about it. Because at that point, it's already too late and the end is probably near. So that's all I got for this one. Make sure you guys subscribe. I'll see you on the next video.